Howdy folks, and welcome to the Hillbilly Kitchen. Today we're making a super creamy, light and fluffy, 5-ingredient, no-bake cheesecake. Now this recipe is kind of perfect for any get-together, and you can prepare it dozens and dozens and dozens of ways. It's literally endless. I'm doing one because I need a quick and easy dessert today, and I'm using a pre-made graham cracker crust that has a lid so I can take it with me. You can do this in a 9x13 pan. You can do it in a springform pan. You can do it in cupcakes. You can do it hundreds of ways and top it. I mean, possibilities are just endless. With cherries, strawberries, blueberries, lemon curd, chocolate, caramel, maybe some nuts, just whatever you can imagine you can put on top of this, because it's a basic cream cheese pie cake. We call it cheesecake, but it's a pie pretty much, and it's no bake, so it's perfect for those hot days. You could also do it in little mini cupcakes and have cheesecake bites. But anyway, the 5 simple ingredients you need are, of course, cream cheese. You want this softened and at room temperature. And I'm just doing enough for one of these, so I'm doing an 8-ounce one. If you wanted to do a 9x13 or a 9-inch springform pan, you would need to double this recipe. A 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, a teaspoon of lemon juice, and about 3/4 cup of fresh whipping cream or heavy cream. Now you can also substitute a tub of Cool Whip if you want to make it even faster and easier. But I'm going to show you the whipped cream first. And my favorite way to make whipped cream is in a mason jar. Just put the cream in your mason jar. It even has marks on the side so you can measure it and put it in the fridge and make sure your jar is cold. And then I use my little hand blender with the whisk attachment on it. And this is my favorite kitchen gadget. But you just whip it until it's stiff. Okay, and that's all there is to it. Nice and stiff. The mason jar makes whipping cream so easy that I rarely ever use the frozen whipped topping. It keeps it from slopping out all over the kitchen, and if you wanted to use this to top your cheesecake with, you would just add about 1 tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar to it and a little vanilla, and it will make whipped topping. You do want to add a little vanilla and a little powdered sugar to it if you're using it by itself. But whipping your cream rather than putting it in with your cream cheese and your other ingredients is the secret to having your no-bake cheesecake set up and be really firm and really light and really fluffy. And the mason jar is the secret to no mess homemade whipped cream. All right, now we want to put our room temperature cream cheese in our bowl. And you do want it room temperature because if it's not soft, it's not going to mix up. Put about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and I got a little more than that here, so I'm going to kind of measure it, and I don't want to put too much. Put a little vanilla in. I said about 1 teaspoon. I like vanilla. And I am using my Vanilla Feeds Tomorrow. Look that up. And 1 cup of, or 1/2 cup, I'm sorry, 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. And we want to mix that up just a little bit with our spatula before we hit it with our mixer, because if you hit it with your mixer first, it's going to blow it all over your kitchen, even in a big deep bowl like this. Another good thing about this is you can make it the day before. And it's better if you do make it the day before and you put it in your refrigerator overnight. And I recommend chilling it before you add a topping to it. Whether you're adding chocolate or cherries or whatever, chill it first, because that kind of keeps it separate. If you put the cherries or the whatever other fruit you're going to put on it as soon as you mix it up, then you're going to have, it's going to bleed together. If you want it topped, chill it first. And you can even put your pie filling or whatever in the refrigerator and pre-chill it while you're chilling your pie. All right. Now we're going to whip our cream cheese and our sugar and our vanilla and our lemon juice until that's fluffy. You do want to scrape your bowl at least once to make sure you don't have cream cheese stuck on the sides or in the bottom, and then give it one more little whip before you add your whipped cream. All right, now we're going to add our whipped cream in here, and I got to have a longer spatula for that. Okay, now we're just going to fold our whipped cream and our cream cheese mixture together. And it's already fairly thick at this point, but after you chill it for either overnight, you want to at least do a minimum of 2 hours. I would try to give it at least 4 hours, but a minimum of 2 hours before you try to cut it. And if you're going to top it and you've only got 2 hours, make sure that you put your fruit or whatever you're topping it with in the refrigerator. You can top it with fresh fruit too. It's delicious with fresh fruit. Chop up or slice up some strawberries, put blueberries on it, even blackberries when they're in season. Just whatever you like, you can put on top of this, because it is a basic recipe. And it has a flavor that pairs well with other flavors, I guess, for lack of a better explanation. All right, that looks pretty good right there. And, you know, you can do this, like I said, in any kind of pan, little mini muffins. You can do it in regular muffins. You can do it in a 9x13. Well, this would be a 9x9 or 8x8, a smaller pan. If you want to double it, you can do a 9x13 if you got to feed a whole lot of people, or you can double it and do 2 of these little pies. It is good with a chocolate crust, it's good with a vanilla wafer crust, or it's good with the graham cracker crust. All right. And we're just going to get all of our filling in our crust. Lots of folks like to do it in a 9x13 and then, you know, double it, do it in a 9x13, and then cut it up and make little bites if they have to feed a whole lot of people. And you just want to kind of spread your filling out in your crust, and you can see it's already thick. I mean, it is holding its shape. So if you put it in the fridge for 2 hours, you could definitely serve it. And that's all there is to making the basic no-bake cheesecake. And if you grew up on those box cheesecakes, which is what I grew up on, you're going to love this. And it's way better than those, the powdered instant ones. Way, way, way better than those. If you grew up on New York cheesecake, this is going to be different than that. And I do like that, but I like this too. This is more like what I grew up with. Make it and take it. Make it and eat it at home. Whatever you decide to do it in. At this point, you're going to want to put it in the fridge for, like I said, at least 2 hours. 4 hours is better. Overnight's perfect. And I do have some here that I did last night. And I put a few in a cupcake pan. Now, if you did this in cupcakes, because I'm doing this for Memorial Day, you could do some whipped topping, some cherries, and some blueberries, and do like 12 cupcakes and have a beautiful patriotic dessert. You could also do it in a 9x13 and do a red stripe, a blue stripe, and a white stripe with whipped cream, strawberries or cherries, they're both red, and blueberries. Or you could do stripes, several small stripes with it, and it would be beautiful. Very patriotic. You could do it in a mini muffin pan that way. Can't talk this morning. Or, you know, just whatever you're in the mood for. But you could definitely do whipped topping, strawberries or cherries, and blueberries, and have a red, white, and blue dessert for Memorial Day, 4th of July, Veterans Day. And I like to do themed desserts, especially for those holidays. But once it's chilled, you can add your topping, or you don't have to add any topping. I mean, it's good just like it is. Now for this size, I would probably only use half a can of pie filling. And I am going to top it real quick just to show you. You can, of course, make your own topping too. You can make your own cherry pie filling, your own lemon curd, your own strawberry pie filling, whatever you want. But, you know, if we're making a no-bake cheesecake to take to a potluck or something, or even to have at a cookout at the house or whatever, we probably ain't going to stand in the kitchen and make pie filling. Sometimes you just need it quick and easy, and this is quick and easy. It just takes a minute to mix it up, and then top it with some ready-made pie filling. And that's kind of all there is to it, and it's beautiful, and everybody loves it. It's not super sweet on its own. It is delicious on its own, but it's not super sweet because we only had that half a cup of powdered sugar in the filling. Now there's a little sugar in the crust. If you make your own, you're going to have a little sugar in it, or the bought crust, there's a little sugar in it, but not a ton. So this is not a super sweet heavy dessert. Well, I say it's not a super sweet heavy. It's not a super sweet dessert. It does have a fair amount of fat in it because of the cream cheese and the heavy whipping cream, but it doesn't have that overpowering sweetness. And that's why a lot of people like cheesecake. There's not really much else I can tell you about this. Like I said, the possibilities are endless for how to serve it and top it, and the flavors that you can add to it, because the flavor of the cheesecake does accompany so many different toppings well. So hang on to this no-bake one. It's very, very easy, very basic ingredients, very quick to make. And use it for all your cookouts and your potlucks and all that stuff when you got to have something to take. I met a woman in a grocery store in Halls, I think it was. I was stopping on my way back from somewhere to pick up some ingredients, and she was grabbing the no-bake cheesecakes, and she was going to do them in the mini muffins because she had to take dessert for 65 people to a potluck. And she got the no-bake cheesecakes that are in the box, and she did them in mini muffins. Well, this is, like I said, way better, but that's a wonderful idea. If you got to feed a lot of people, just make it smaller. Because I'm doing this one for Memorial Day, I want to share Revelations 21:4 with you. And God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying, nor shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. For many of us, Memorial Day is a sad day because it is the time when we go take care of the final resting place for our loved ones. We go clean everything up. At the cemetery where my granny and most of my family are laid to rest, it's still a big day. The whole church gathers, the whole community gathers, and they clean it up, and they put out fresh flowers and wash all the markers and everything. And it's kind of a sad day. But if you read your Bible, if you know the Lord, you know who wins in the end, and you know that all of that is only temporary, because Jesus promised that we are going to be together again with Him in His Father's house. So the day is coming when God is going to wipe away every tear, and there will be no more death. So if you're struggling on Memorial Day because you are taking care of the final resting place of your loved ones, just remember it's only temporary. Try this cheesecake this summer or whenever, because it's good, like I said, for any get-together. Lots of people make it at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Thank you so much for joining us at the Hillbilly Kitchen. If you haven't already, please don't forget to click like and subscribe. Share our videos with all your friends. And until next time, remember to put God first.